hey, you are not broken. There is nothing wrong with you. And you are not crazy for replaying that one conversation from 3 years ago while you were trying to fall asleep. Most people think overthinking is a bad habit. They think it is something you can just stop if you try hard enough, like biting your nails. But that is wrong. Overthinking is not a habit. It is a survival mechanism. It is your brain trying to keep you safe. The problem is, it is using old maps for a new world. It is treating a text message like a tiger in the bushes. Once you understand this, you stop fighting yourself. You stop feeling guilty. And you start to see your mind not as an enemy, but as a protector that is working too hard. I remember lying in bed at 2 a.m. The house was silent, but my head was loud. I was thinking about a comment someone made at dinner. Just a small comment. That's interesting. Was it sarcastic? Did they think I was stupid? I replayed the tone. I replayed their face. I constructed 3 different scenarios where I had ruined the friendship. I felt my heart racing. I felt sick. And I thought, why can't I just shut up? I tried to force my brain to stop. I told myself, it doesn't matter. Go to sleep. But the more I pushed the thought away, the louder it got. It was like holding a beach ball underwater. The pressure builds, and when you let go, it explodes. I didn't know then that trying to stop thinking was actually making me think more. I was fighting a war inside my own skull, and I was losing. Here is what is actually happening. Your brain has a mode called the default mode network. It kicks in when you are not doing anything specific, when you are resting, when you are showering, when you're trying to sleep. For most people, this is nice. It is where daydreams happen. But for overthinkers, this network is hyperactive. It is like a radio that is stuck on high volume. It scans for danger, it looks for problems, it replays the past to find mistakes. It simulates the future to prevent disaster. This is not a glitch, it is a feature. Your brain is incredibly sophisticated. It is trying to solve problems before they happen. It is trying to protect you from social rejection, from failure, from uncertainty. But it is doing it all the time, even when there is no danger, even when you are safe in your bed. There is a big difference between reflecting and ruminating. Reflecting is useful. You think about a problem, you come up with a solution, and you move on. It is a straight line. Rumination is a circle. You think about the problem, you feel bad, you think about why you feel bad, you think about how you shouldn't feel bad, and you end up exactly where you started. No solution, just exhaustion. Psychologists call this preserving emotion in amber. You're not processing the feeling, you're trapping it, you're keeping it fresh. And the cruel irony is that you keep doing it because you think if you just think hard enough, you will find the answer. You think if you analyze it from every angle, you will make it okay. But you won't. You will just be tired. I noticed something about my own overthinking. It only happens with things I care about. I never lie awake worrying about what to eat for lunch. I never stress about which socks to wear. I pick those things instantly. But if I send an email to a boss or if I have a disagreement with a partner, my brain locks up. I draft and redraft. I read it 10 times. I worry about the tone. I worry about the punctuation. I worry about how it will be received. This tells us something important. Overthinking is a map of your values. It shows you what matters to you. If you overthink about relationships, it is because you value connection. If you overthink about work, it is because you value competence. Your anxiety is not random noise. It is a signal. It is telling you, this matters to me. The problem is not that you care. The problem is that your brain is screaming instead of whispering. Many people who overthink grew up in environments where they had to be alert. Maybe a parent was moody. Maybe you never knew what mood they would be in. Maybe you had to read the room to stay safe. Your brain learned that thinking ahead was the only way to survive. It learned that if you missed a cue, there would be consequences. So you became an expert at reading faces, at analyzing tones, at predicting outcomes. This was smart. It helped you. But now you are an adult. You are safe. But your brain is still scanning for threats in low-stakes situations. It treats an ambiguous text message like a life or death situation. It releases cortisol, your heart races, your body reacts as if you are in danger, but you are just sitting on your couch. There's a famous experiment called the white bear test. Researchers told people, do not think of a white bear. What happened? They could not stop thinking about the white bears. The more they tried to suppress the thought, the more it came back. This is what happens when you tell yourself, stop worrying. The thought comes back stronger. I used to try to distract myself. I would scroll through my phone, I would watch TV, I would keep busy. Because if I stopped, the thoughts would flood in. I was using distraction as a volume dial, but it never turned the noise off. It just paused it. And when the distraction ended, the backlog of thoughts would hit me all at once. So what do? You cannot silence the mind. That is impossible. And chasing silence will only frustrate you. The goal is not to stop thinking. The goal is to change your relationship with your thoughts. You need to step back. You need to observe the thought instead of becoming the thought. When I start to spiral now, I pause. I say to myself, I am having the thought that I messed up. Notice the difference. I'm not saying I messed up. I'm saying I am having the thought. This creates space. It separates you from the noise. It allows you to look at the thought objectively. Is it true? Is it helpful? Or is it just my brain doing its old job of scanning for danger? I also ask myself a simple question. Is this threat real? Usually the answer is no. The danger my brain is scanning for dissolved years ago. What is left is a habit, a well-practiced neural pathway. So I acknowledge it. I say, thank you, brain, for trying to protect me. But I am safe. It sounds silly, it sounds simple, but it works. It stops the fight, it stops the struggle. And when you stop struggling, the thoughts lose their power. They become background noise instead of a siren. You also need to understand that overthinkers are often the most empathetic people. We spend so much time thinking about how others feel. We simulate their perspectives. We worry about hurting them. This is a gift. But we rarely give that same empathy to ourselves. We are harsh judges of our own minds. We beat ourselves up for thinking too much. We call ourselves weak, but you are not weak. You are sensitive, you are aware, you are deep. These are strengths. The world needs people who think deeply, who consider consequences, who care about details. You just need to learn how to turn the volume down. Start small. Next time you catch yourself spiraling, do not fight it. Do not try to push it away. Just notice it. Label it. This is rumination. Then gently bring your attention to something physical. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel the chair against your back. Hear the sounds in the room. This grounds you. It brings you out of your head and into your body. It reminds your brain that you are here, now, and you are safe. You do not need to solve everything tonight. You do not need to figure it all out. You just need to be present. Overthinking is not a life sentence. It is a pattern, and patterns can be changed, not by force, not by suppression, but by understanding, by kindness, by realizing that your brain is doing its best. It is trying to help. It just needs some guidance. It needs to know that you are in charge now. Not the fear, not the old survival instincts. You. So be patient with yourself. You have spent years practicing this. It will take time to unpractice it. But every time you notice the spiral and choose to step back, you are rewiring your brain. You are teaching it a new way to be. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. There's a huge difference. One traps you, the other frees you. Start noticing the difference. Start treating your mind with the same compassion you give to others. Stop fighting the white bear. Let it sit there. It is just a bear. It cannot hurt you. And eventually it will walk away.